What do you mean? Like, what are you trying to do?
Well, I'm just trying to see how it works first.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
just like
but
so many.
yeah.
There's like so many options on like menus and like things to like delete off the screen that's already there. Like it's like obviously set up for people who like want to, you know, it's got like a bunch of like social media links and like boxes for face cams already set up for people who want to do that, but I don't want to do that, so I have to like get rid of it all.
I think I got it
Now
now.
I don't know where that's coming from because when I got it, like it imported all of my settings from OBS, so like my scenes and stuff that I had already created, as well as like my audio preferences and stuff like that. And then it basically just asked me like, where do you want to stream it, and I just set that up, and that's pretty much all that I had to do. And I've created a couple new scenes since then, like for gaming streams and stuff like that. But
Oh,
I guess I would just have to see what you're talking about. Maybe I could help you.
we're live, by the way. I got it
I
going.
don't know.
I got it going. We're live now.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm going to tweet it out, and then I'm going to post it to ye old Facebook.
Give it a little tweeter.
Oh. Okay. All right, we're good. So, I didn't post it to the group Facebook, but we can see.
Yeah, well, I could do a quick live stream over there, and then like simultaneously, and then I'll end it after like 5 minutes. See if anybody wants to watch us.
Okay, fantastic. Alrighty. So yeah, I don't have any notes or anything like that. I'm just going to play the episode in the background and kind of skip around and as we're talking about it. But so the Haunting of Bly Manor. Actually, really quickly, did either of you watch Hill House?
Yes.
No, I did not see that one.
Tom, what did you think about Hill House?
I love Hill House.
Yeah, fair enough. I I share the sentiment. So I mean,
I know I acknowledge the problems with the ghosts and stuff. I had those problems while I was watching it. Like, how do they work? Like, this is I'm really into it. The story and the spooks are like actual spooks. Like, this is actually terrifying, and the drama is compelling. But yeah, how do these ghosts work? Whatever.
How do you guys feel? How did you guys feel about them actually giving the ghosts like rules and all those things? Like,
I mean,
very specifically, like lay out like when this happens, then this happens.
I'm kind of indifferent about it, honestly. I mean, I don't. I can see how it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have, I suppose. But I mean,
I
like it. I appreciate it way more than having no rules.
Yeah.
Because if there's no rules, then anything could happen, especially when you're dealing with the supernatural.
Yeah, I was thinking like it's strange because like I want it to be consistent, but I don't want to know every single rule about the ghost world, because then it just raises a lot more questions, and when they start to be inconsistent with those rules, it really breaks my suspension of disbelief.
Well, yeah, and it kind of comes down to what kind of genre they were really trying to go for. Because I mean, I don't really think they were trying to go for the same kind of ominous, scary vibe that they were going for with Hill House. At least not in the end of the series, that's for sure. But I think that because one of the major things that a lot of people say is a important factor for making your story, well, quote unquote, scary, is not explaining the mechanics of the creatures or the monsters and all that, and keeping it kind of shrouded in a sense of mystery. So for the genre that they were trying to do with this, I don't even know what I would call it, but I mean, I don't think that actually giving the ghosts rules, I don't think that it really added to or took away that much in the end. I think it's kind of just meh. not. It's nice. It's nice, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess my biggest problem with it was, well, I guess I should get right out of the way with Bly Manor specifically. I thought it was okay. I didn't like hate this series, and I definitely don't think it's great either. But I thought it was like an okay series, basically up until the last two episodes, and then those really irritated me.
Oh, and
They,
it's
because they started playing it really fast and loose with all of those said ghost rules.
and it's interesting too because a lot of people hated this show. Like a lot of people just downright just despise it, and like
I will say, I understand why someone would say they think it's boring. Like, I mean, I can't do anything with that. If I thought it was boring, that's fine. I can understand
Yeah.
why they think that. But like, yeah, a lot of these like people going into it expecting the same as what was in Hill House. I think they were expecting something like that, like a lot more, like terrifying ghosts and like demons, and yeah, based on that they were expecting something like that, and they got more of a slow burn drama.
well, I mean, Hill House was kind of a slow burn too, a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I guess like I never. I mean, boring is subjective, anyways. But like for me, I felt a really great shift in tone about episode 5, where yeah, they basically baited it as a horror story, but then it's like they changed writers, or like somebody handed somebody like half a script, and they're like, here, finish this, and they're like, oh well, what if we make it a love story now? And then like all of the horror elements were then gone pretty much up until the final climax of the story.
That was that was something that we had talked about yesterday. That the show seemed up to about episode 5. The show had a different feel to it almost. Like it definitely seemed like they were going more for horror at first. So I don't know, because especially
And it was creepy. Like I was like genuinely creeped out like a few different times. So
well, because
they did a really good job with that actual part.
yeah, because you got Peter running around being weird, and then you find out that he died here and all that nonsense, and but then you think about it. Why was he doing half of the crap that he was doing at the beginning of the series before we found out his motivations? Namely, possessing Miles to flirt with Danny.
Yeah.
Randomly appearing to Danny. So we are under the establishment that the ghosts can choose who they appear to, right? That's a fair assumption. So what exactly was Peter's intention of appearing to her randomly and grinning at her through the windows and things like that?
It made no sense, like why he would only appear to her, who he has no connection with. I think, but
I mean, unless it was they were going with the fact that it's like, oh, I think you're cute or something. Which, I mean, I guess that would be within Peter's character, but they don't really ever say that's what he's doing. He's just kind of doing creepy stuff for the sake of creepy. And I thought that was something that I thought was really weird. Specifically, the scene where he flirts with her. Where he does the weird little like brush of her hair over her ear thing when he's possessing Owen. That was just in general. When I first saw that, I was kind of like, oh, that's a little on the nose. Okay.
yeah, it's just them like pretty much announcing to the audience. He's possessed.
Well, yeah, because I had liked it up to that point because it had been rather dubious at that point about whether or not they were being possessed, and then Miles did that, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, all right. But the kids were at least decent actors. I'll give them that. I mean, I didn't want to stab my eyes out while I was watching them.
And that's kind of a thing that we talked about when we talked about The Boys. Is everybody's clapback is like, oh, well, this actor's in it, and they're great. And it's like, yeah, but anything with a decent budget is going to have quality actors. That should be a standard, not a merit, I think.
Yeah. Also, so I'm just kind of like skimming over the episodes right as we're talking about them. So in the very first episode, when Danny first gets to the manor, she walks up to Flora, who's sitting in front of the lake, and she's humming the song. So she walks up and she's all like, "Hey, what's the song?" And then she denies like having sung a song, and so slight spoilers for Hill House, not really, but they do kind of a similar thing in that show where they very quickly like allude to something and then they just kind of just brush it under the rug for later. And I thought that's what they were going to do here, and they kind of did, but it was more just the Willow Wally was just the song that you'll have to refresh my memory. It was just the song that Lady of the Lake liked, right, or something, or that she sung to her. She sung to her daughter.
It was what she sung to her daughter. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess that's subjective of me to say, but it's like that's kind of underwhelming. Dang, I was hoping for something a little bit more with that. Specifically,
Sure, that's not the only.
yeah.
Payoff for the Lady of the Lake, though. It's not just the song. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Of other things.
And because what I thought they were going with that is I thought they were going for a like Danny's crazy type of thing, because immediately after that, or around that same time, we had that phone call between her and her mother, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not running away," and yada yada yada. And obviously we know that she was talking about her boyfriend who got run over.
Yeah, which they did nothing with that ghost afterwards. There was no resolution to it. Just after the Lady of the Lake was gone, he's gone too, and it's like he had no connection to that manor. So, and that's why I think it like changed hands between writers about halfway through.
Well,
Was he a ghost?
wait, he wasn't a ghost though.
He was just like her,
He was
essentially being crazy. her manifestation of her guilt, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
just
that's convenient.
Like, and
Yeah.
his like silhouette was like that. I thought that was really cool. Like, 'cause
Mhm.
that's why he looks like that. It was the silhouette of the headlights in his face. Oh, that's why he looks like that. So I thought that was like a neat little visual.
So, see, I didn't get that. I mean, I can see how one would interpret that, but I don't remember that ever being like clearly stated in the series. Because
Was what?
that was just a manifestation of her guilt, and he wasn't actually a ghost.
Oh yeah, they don't ever. I don't think they ever actually say whether it is or isn't.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So,
no, yeah, well, no, but it's established that the only ghosts at Bly are the ones that die at Bly, so you can
Yeah.
that he isn't a ghost.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so-
true.
So Peter's not Peter, but the uncle's ghost, his clone ghost, isn't a ghost either. It's
No.
a
No,
yeah,
no.
That's him, like seeing like his
I don't
evil
know.
self.
Yeah, well, 'cause-
that's him seeing his like evil self that his brother, his brother gave that big long speech. Like, there's
Yeah.
another side to you, this evil grinning demon, and so. He,
Yeah, because I'm.
Uncle
No,
Henry, Uncle Henry sees that person like all the time, like tormenting him.
Yeah, because if that was a ghost, I would be sitting there like, who the hell is this? Why are yeah. Yeah. No. He was an interesting character. So kind of shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah, we're jumping around a lot, but
We're jumping around a lot, but
yeah, that's fine. But like with that guy, I guess I don't know. It wasn't real clear to me, like whether or not this was something in their mind or if they were actual ghosts. And the rules with these ghosts are kind of iffy. Like it gets really circular, I would say, like with the way they interact with the world. And I guess the defense for it is, as long as they don't realize they're dead, or I guess as long as they don't realize that they're dead, then they can interact with the world, like Hannah, who changes her clothes every day and like tastes badder and drinks wine, you know. She can interact with the world, which is a really weird rule to set in this universe, where basically anybody who died by sudden accident would then be a ghost that thinks they're real, and they would still be interacting with the world. It's very strange, I think.
Yeah, it's more of with the ghosts, it's more of like they don't accept death. It's like not
Mhm.
that they don't. Well, yeah, well, it's kind of like they don't know they're dead. But
Well-
it's more of
Well,
the fact
because
that
the curse,
It's,
the
it's set up initially when Peter's killed, because she drags him down that hall, and then he comes back, and her doll's on the ground. Well, no, he's holding her doll, and then she says something like, he's like, "You kids need to go back to bed," and they're like, "Don't you remember what just happened?" And then he looked at the doll, and as she said that, it fell through his hand, where he remembered that he died. And then he concentrated for a bit, and then he could pick it back up, which was weird too. So I don't know.
well, I mean, if we're going by the assumption that ghosts are actually in this universe, ghosts are actually very rare, and the only reason they're even showing up as much at this house is because of the fact that Lady of the Lake is crazy and evil, curse, whatever the hell. Yeah. Then I mean, I don't think that I can say that it's poorly done the way the mechanics are set up at the very least. I mean, I know that there are some contradictions. I think that
It's just, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I don't know, just like a lot of ghosts that are in the house are introduced with, like, and it just like raises questions, because the Lady of the Lake can like kill people and move
Mhm.
them, but then all these other ghosts, and like the little boy, he like moves the dolls around
Mhm.
or whatever, which I guess he acts as a geolocator for every ghost in the house. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's convenient, I guess.
I was hoping for something a little bit more for that, but I mean, I can't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they built the dollhouse up to be like this. I don't know, like much more, I think. But it just turns out that the ghost boy was just moving things around.
And I mean, it does make sense, because it comes back to what Flora says earlier in the show of or well, constantly, of don't touch the dolls, leave the dolls alone, because he's
Yeah.
little kid guys like moving them around and such.
And like, I'm not even sure she realized that at first. I think she just knew that they were being moved.
Do they-
around, And
Do they ever utilize the dolls to figure out who's where? Do they ever actually do that? I think they do once.
they just know when the lady from under the bed's gone.
Oh.
I think that's about it.
Hmm.
Because she's now in the house, in the dollhouse, I guess I should say.
Right.
the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. I don't know.
That's the lady under the bed.
Yeah, yeah. She is on,
the,
on
doll,
the
the, doll,
bed.
the doll is under the bed, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the doll of the Lady of the Lake.
I think so. The lady under the bed.
The lady under the bed lake.
The lady under the
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I guess that's just kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, I thought they were going to do a little bit more with that, but they didn't. So I was like, okay, fair enough. But it's interesting that they.
have to be like that overly explained or too complex.
No, not really, not really. It's interesting that they never really utilized the dollhouse for anything for the actual story. It's interesting that they established that the little boy was moving the dolls, and then that's how we find out where the ghosts are throughout the house. And then the only time it's really utilized is the one or two times when they see that the Lady of the Lake is in the house already.
So you guys were saying that the ghost can choose who they appear to be, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the little boy, he chooses to show himself to Flora every night when she wakes up and sees him there.
Yes.
And then he runs away.
Well,
Well,
Little
that's
kids.
the thing, because isn't that more like the same with the Lady of the Lake? Because they eventually, over time, they lose their identity and like who they were, and they become faceless. So they just
Yeah.
kind of, like they just kind of go
Yeah.
about things with no reason. goes in and out of that room constantly, just playing with the dolls, and goes back into the attic, I guess.
Well,
wherever he comes from.
and I also imagine that because that was one thing that I did actually like of how the ghosts work. I think that people like the little kid or the Lady of the Lake. I imagine that they probably just absent-mindedly show themselves to everybody. Like I imagine they're just there.
Yeah, they have no rhyme or reason to like. They're not like literally consciously showing themselves. They're just, you know, they're you know, they don't have really any thoughts really.
Like
conscious thoughts. They're just like going through their, you know, daily ghost. You know.
Sure.
it's ghost all time
Well,
Alzheimer's.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about the other ghosts? Why don't they ever show up? Like, you know, the Lady of the Lake sister, the plague doctor, the soldier, all these other guys.
The sister is in the attic.
Wouldn't stuff be being moved around like constantly?
Well,
Because they're just mindlessly going about their business.
I guess it would depend on
they're
what.
not, like mindlessly like living their lives. They're not like using the kitchen or going to the toilet. You know, they're just
Yeah,
doing
no, I
singular,
know.
singular things.
I imagine they're in a loop of sorts, like the rewind tape and then restart kind of thing. So, and they don't ever actually tell us what that loop is for a plague doctor guy or for a little kid, or anything like that. So I know that the sister is just stuck in the attic, like that's just where she is, and they do kind of reference that multiple times, like whenever somebody is in the attic, that is she is somebody who's just ever present there. Yeah, so I mean I think that just comes down to a lack of information because we don't know what the plague doctor or the soldier or anything like that, we don't know what they're doing.
What about now? This one gets kind of different too, because there's a couple instances of possession that are, I think, inconsistent, which had been set up over the other 8 episodes. Was you know, the magic words "it's me, it's you, it's us" was used originally. When that was said, the ghost would basically possess the host permanently, and it would tuck away their victim. And then when Danny says it takes over a decade for her to like emerge until she's like dreaming that she's killing her lover, to wake up to almost be killing her lover. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And like, how did nobody notice like she immediately had 2 different colored eyes?
Yeah. I have a problem with the words in general because it's the thing is that there's 2 different problems with this. First of all, this isn't a super magical take me over forever ooga booga magic word thing. This is what Peter told the kids to say because that was him trying to get them to subconsciously accept that he was going to take them over forever.
Yeah, and it's like, how did he learn this magic power?
Yeah, if these are magic words for whatever the hell, I'm very curious to know where he found out about them. But not only that, I don't see how Danny would think that saying that would save Flora. Like I guess it's like, oh, last resort, let's try this. But that wouldn't have even crossed my mind as something to try.
It seems like a reasonable last resort to get the lady to stop.
I suppose.
Actually, she was there when Peter did it to.
What she was.
Yes, but
She did hear them say it. So she would like reasonably assume that, well, this can work. This could possibly work on another ghost in Bly.
Yeah, it's just weird how it worked differently for her than everybody else or anybody else that they were gonna try it on.
I suppose the explanation would be because of the fact that she's faded, I guess. But
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that she doesn't really have an identity, and like, yeah, if you're taken over, then you're not really taken over by Viola, because it's not really Viola anymore. It's just her like unconscious like impulse to go to the lake, out of the lake, walk through the house, and that eventually took over Danny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to get your link posted on the Facebook group there. And then we have, you know, I've heard this like weird thing like where the curse has been cured, but it's not, because she goes and kills herself at Bly Manor, and then the narrator says she walks the grounds of Bly for the rest of her days. So it's still haunted, it's just not malicious now. So the curse hasn't ended, it's still like a curse, but it's just a weird way to wrap things up, because they spent an hour on this, and then there was no resolution for like the uncle who like did the curse just cure his clone ghost. Like he just doesn't have guild anymore because the fucking lady of the lake is gone. Like,
that bothered me. See, the one of the major issues that I had with this show is that the dynamic is essentially people that are assholes and actually just terrible people and stupid people. And Peter and the uncle are perfect examples of that, because the uncle is an asshole and they don't give him any kind of redemption arc whatsoever. They just kind of drop the whole thing of he's being haunted by his alternate self. And it would have been so much better. It would have been so much better if they would have showed that he was still struggling with his demons in the end and stuff like that. But he's actively trying to be a good person and all that. But they don't do that. They just kind of drop it and he's just okay. And that bothered me. That bothered me that they just
yeah, and it's the same with her ghost too. I guess Danny's figment of her imagination. She's just over it because she found a new piece of ass. Just like in The Boys, when fucking Huey was just completely over his fiance because what? He found a new piece of ass. It's frustrating.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, we have to also think that it's probably been a significant amount of years since the guy died. Yeah.
No. No, I will disagree with that, because in the series, okay, she has packed her bags because her mom is coming by to give her the glasses. So it can be reasonably assumed that they're still grieving. It's been really recent. She had packed her bags to go to Bly after the interview. So it's like the same, I would say within the same month or so, at minimum. Like, I don't know how long exactly, but it wasn't like years later.
But she still feels responsible for what happened to her.
Exactly, and that's kind of my point. Is she just gets over it because she meets I can never remember her name, so I'll just refer to her as Dykley. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, and it sucks too, because it's like, okay, so that's that one scene where they're in the little greenhouse thingy, and the first time that they go in to like kiss or whatever. So she pretty much explains to her in the entirety that I'm essentially being haunted by the memory of my my dead boyfriend, who I may or may not have gotten killed. And he appears to me randomly, and it's terrifying, and it's just, I'm just not in a very good state right now. Everything just sucks right now. Everything just sucks. And then they go in to kiss. She sees him in the background. She freaks out about it. And then Jamie is just like, wow, I guess we just shouldn't be doing this right now. And then just walks out. It's like, bitch. She literally just told you.
It literally doesn't make sense from Danny's perspective too. She literally just got done telling Jamie, like, look, I see this ghost, and it terrifies me, you know, blah 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 blah. And Jamie's like, oh yeah, I understand, and I'll tell him to fuck off if he comes by. And then they kiss, and then you know, Jamie has that reaction to it, and she doesn't just say, you know, sorry, I just saw him right fucking behind you and spooked the shit out of me. And no, she just lets her walk off with no explanation.
Yeah, so again, she was being a bitch. She was.
And that's the second problem, and I don't want to move on from the ghost stuff yet, but
Yeah.
that is literally the second problem I have with this, out of two problems. And the second one is the characters don't just explain to anyone what they're experiencing, despite seeing the others freak out about it.
Well, I guess Danny wasn't explicitly telling her I see his ghost. It's just like I'm still kind of traumatized.
No,
by
she
it.
literally says, "I see him.
Yeah.
I see him everywhere I go." And then,
But like, if you're
it
Jamie,
says-
then you just kind of assume like, oh, you're just kind of still really grieving, and you like you think you're seeing him, like you're hallucinating, like you see him from time to time because, you know, it's a traumatic thing that happened, that he died. It's not like thinking like, oh, she must see his ghost. Like when she
Yeah,
said, if he comes back, I'll tell him to, you know, piss off, whatever she said. It's clearly like in jest. I don't think she literally.
No, yeah,
talking,
I know that. I know she was trying to make light of it. And that's
And
that's good. Yeah, I like
when
that
saw
part.
Danny freaking out,
character.
and when Danny freaks out, she's like, it's not more of a,
Yeah,
oh
she-
well, like fuck you then. It's more of a, okay, well you're not ready. It's more of an. I read it as more of like an understanding. Okay, well we shouldn't do this because you're clearly. Not,
Yeah,
not,
but-
Well, they-
like,
they
she
do-
wasn't pissed off at Danny.
Well, they do kind of have a scene later
Yeah,
where they have a scene later where Danny gives her some flowers, I believe. I'm working off of memory right now, so forgive me. But Danny goes and gives her flowers, and Jamie is almost like hesitant to accept them. So it's like, oh, like I'm, or what did she say? It's like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm good. I'm good to go. But just like you, just don't seem like you are. And just like maybe I just got the tone wrong, but it kind of came across as like, wow, you're being kind of a bitch to this person who's like just lost their significant other fairly recently.
Exactly. No, like the problem I had with that kissing scene is like she could have just explained what happened, but instead she just lets her walk away, hurt or pissed off or whatever, and like that's I think the reality of it, but you can read into it like any way you want to, but I think that like she could have just explained herself and it probably would have resolved that conflict immediately.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's a problem that I have with a lot of it is they could have just explained themselves or talked to each other and it probably would have resolved some other conflicts.
Going back a little bit, just because, like I said, still.
Ghost Girls, right?
Yeah, well, no, more so just character intentions. So I just saw the scene in the very beginning where what?
Oh, I still had one ghost roll, but we.
Oh, go for it.
Oh well, like with the illness and the contagion, or well, it was TB, right? Tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how did nobody catch that when like they literally tell her she can't sleep with anybody, but yet everybody's holding her all the time and talking to her like an inch away, and it's like, how did she not infect the rest of the
Yeah.
She was walking through it all the time to check on people when she wasn't supposed to be.
Regularly getting into wrestling matches with people.
Yeah, slapping your sister right.
Slapping
right in the fucking mouth.
people. Yeah.
And it's like I guess like after they read her last rites, they say, you know, she basically doesn't die because she says no to God, which is a real thing. You can survive a long time on just the pure will to live, not like immortality, but there are cases where people just don't let go and they last a little bit longer. And TB's one that you can carry for
Years.
many years.
Yeah.
But the issue comes from just because she has the will to live now, death doesn't even come to the property line anymore. And so if you die there now you become a ghost.
I didn't really think about that at the time. That is a little goofy. That's a little. That's interesting.
And yeah, I don't know. And it's like,
So if that's the case, why did... this is actually a genuine question. This isn't so much a criticism, because I think I might have missed something here. Why did Danny, having the Lady of the Lake possess her, in turn set the other ghosts free, if that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it wasn't... Like, the whole curse came about because they threw her fancy dresses in the water that were supposed to be passed down to her daughter. So I would think the only way to cure the curse was to, like, get those dresses to the rightful owner. So that seemed to be the chunk of it, and her sister betrayed her. But
Right.
Yeah, but the people there, like Danny and stuff, don't know about that.
yeah, nobody would, so the curse would go on forever. So why Danny, the ghost possessing Danny, why would that cure the curse?
I don't. Yeah.
And like the other thing I didn't understand is, like, wouldn't, if you were like from like 300 years ago and then you just like teleported to a body 300 years into the future, how fucking freaked out would you be? Why would you want that?
Wait, say again?
So, okay, she was from 300 years ago, before modern plumbing and automobiles and fucking smartphones, and then she like possesses Danny in the current time. Like, why would she want that? That would be so overwhelming.
Well, Viola's not aware anymore, isn't she? She's like faceless. Like it's not her anymore. She's still
Yes. So how does that possession work then?
Well, I think it's because of, you know, like when Danny said the words, like it's volunteering to be, you know, inviting a ghost into your body. That I'm not going to say like those words are definite. I don't know how that works, the magical words, because it seems to be like those words specifically. But the actual point of, you know, is her allowing. Is like, well, the point of those words, like when the kids do it, is to allow a ghost to enter your body.
Yeah, and so once she's in, then what? She's a faceless ghost, and what? She's possessing her, but like
Well,
nothing.
she's a part of her, yeah. But
Yeah,
I
which
guess
with everybody
I
else.
think
it was
we
like
mentioned earlier, but it's because why she doesn't like overtake her fully is because she doesn't have that identity anymore. She's not Viola. She's the Lady of the Lake. It's not. I give it to you. It's not explained, but that's a fair assumption to make. Like with all the other ghosts, like they're fully developed. They're still aware of who they are. They have the faces. So when they possess someone, it will be them, but in a different body.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, but I do agree. It's like it's not explicit, but we can like make these assumptions.
That's all I had for ghosts, I think.
The one thing before we move on from the ghost, though, just because I know we already talked about it, but this is just an instance that I just now saw. So very beginning of the series, she's when she's walking towards the manor, the kids are running out in front of her. She sees Peter standing on the balcony over on the right hand side, and she waves at him. He doesn't wave back. He's standing there being creepy ghost guy, and then she looks away, and then she looks back, and he's gone. I know we already talked about this, like I said, but this is just another example. Like, what's he doing?
What? Winning what? I'm sorry.
So what would I?
Which one?
Well,
When Peter's standing outside of the
Oh yeah.
east.
on the balcony, yeah. He's just
outside on the
he's just standing out there, staring at Danny, being creepy ghost person, even though Peter doesn't have any reason to do that because his whole intention is to try and.
Peter's probably the weakest character out of all of them.
Man, he's such a terrible person. Him and the other au pair, whatever her name was, like they're like 100%. Rebecca, I don't know, but like they are 100% in an abusive relationship, and the show kind of doesn't address it. It's kind of weird. But he's so the redemption arc for Mr. Peter Quint here is we get a little flashback because like ghost Alzheimer's. Eventually, you start like reliving parts of your life and whatever the hell you do your loop. His loop just happens to be right before he was going to be hired for Bly Manor, I guess, or hired by the uncle. And his mother comes by, and his mother's all like, "You're stupid. Go steal shit." And he's just like, "Okay." And then that's the explanation we get essentially for his evilness. I'm being extremely like hyperbolic. Obviously, I know that there was some subtext and some context for all of that, and it's like, oh, his father was a evil whatever the hell, but and she allowed it, yeah, but that's no excuse. Like, you're still a bad person, Peter. It's just because it's like, just because your mom is the reason that you're a meanie, is like, that doesn't make it better. And I got
used it as an excuse. I think it was just more to give, like
context.
Context as to why he is like this, to understand him, not to sympathize with him.
He's such a mustache twirling, like,
Well,
over the top antagonist throughout the entire series, from the beginning until the end. And then they just have one scene to be like, "See, he was sexually abused."
and see, I don't know though. I think that the show did want you to feel sorry for him. Maybe not, but I got the impression that it was trying to get you to sympathize with him. It's like, this asshole who convinced his girlfriend to kill herself and then said, "Oh, don't worry, babe, I'll possess you so you won't feel it." And then he leaves right before, as she's drowning. It's just like, you're not going to make me feel sympathy for this dipshit.
Yeah, and he basically killed Miles.
Yeah, that too.
I don't even know if Miles came back.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot.
He was willing to kill Miles, though.
Oh, yeah. And he killed Hannah.
Yeah, and he killed Hannah.
Yeah.
The best character. I think.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the best character.
I think so. Yeah, I would agree to that.
Basically the only one that was relatable. I think the rest of them were just kind of caricatures. I think. Especially Owen.
I liked Owen. Owen was
I
cool.
liked him. I liked him.
I really like Owen.
Yeah, but he didn't really feel like a real, genuine person.
Oh, what? Because he's brown.
Brown people don't exist. He was too clever. And clever people do not exist in 2020. Actually, it wasn't 2020 or 20 though. It was like 1980, right?
No, the way they handled the level of contagiousness of tuberculosis, this definitely was not made in 2020. But I lost my train of thought there. Actually, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how characters basically are acting out of character. So an example I would go with is like, how did nobody notice that the muddy footprints were of an adult when they were carefully, slowly printed footsteps and not smeared at all?
Yeah, every single night.
And every single night it led to the exact
Going to the same room. Yeah, it's like nobody's. It's like, oh, those pesky kids. Like, okay, so
no, they're always going into their parents' room every night.
they're always going up to the.
And
Yep.
go to their parents' room every
Yep.
night. So weird.
Yep, and they just stand in front of the bed and then they turn around and walk out. I don't really get the.
Yeah, it's not even like they walk around the room. They literally walk to the front of the bed and then they just walk right back out.
I mean, realistically, if I was under the assumption that was happening, I would probably just come to the conclusion that the kids were just being little shits and just doing it on purpose at that point.
Now,
What other conclusion can he come to? that race exists.
Yeah.
And especially when like Danny has seen the kids like go out at random times. Obviously, this must be moments where they're possessed. I'm guessing, but they go outside at random times
Yeah,
and forget
why?
where they are.
why is Rebecca possessing Flora just to walk out and stare at the lake?
Do they actually give anything for that? I actually don't know if they do or not.
I don't think so. So like the reason I'm asking is maybe there's something I didn't like quite catch. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's some interpretation that I should have picked up on, but I really don't know why she's doing that.
Well, I mean, they're like possessed at like random moments, but maybe it's just Peter and Becca just wanting to, you know, just stroll around the manor, like.
The only thing that I can think of is maybe it's when they're going through their little ghost loop nonsense. Like maybe it can still happen when they're possessing somebody, and so. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask how come when Peter and Rebecca touch people, they possess them temporarily, but when Hannah does it, it's just fine.
I think it's because she hasn't accepted that she's a ghost.
Neither had Peter.
Well,
yeah. Well,
no, when he touched.
Yeah, he was like
touching Rebecca. He knew he was dead.
Yeah.
No. Was he? Okay.
Yeah, he was like,
yeah.
"Oh, you bitch!"
Yeah,
and
because he appeared in Becca's room to be like, "Oh, don't freak out! Like, touch my hand," and like hit the hand, pass through him, like I'm dead. Like, then,
why did he kill her again? I forgot.
Why did who kill who?
Why did Peter kill Rebecca in the lake?
Company.
So they could be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did the thing where, oh yeah, because when she joined him, she was like permanently tucked away. Which is weird because when you say permanently, he just left her. Couldn't he have just left her and she would have been alive? He didn't have to kill her in the lake.
Well, his line of logic was that eventually she's going to leave and he's going to be alone. It's
what?
Bly. He can't leave Bly. That's the whole point. The whole point is that he wants to be with her, and he knows that she's not going to stay. And yeah, how does this affect me? Basically, is how Peter was looking at the situation.
So it still doesn't make sense because he still loses her. So.
What do you mean?
Oh well, if he kills her, well, I guess if he killed her, yeah, she was a ghost.
Yeah. That was the whole plan.
Yeah. So they leave Bly together. Like, if she leaves Bly, he can't leave Bly.
But it's okay because his mom made him do it.
She knew the entire time.
Peter is such a terrible person.
How about this, right? The ghost, the lady of the lake makes the same path every night or every 2 nights or whenever she wakes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about when the parents lived there? Did they still think it was the kids? How long has this been going on for? Because that was the parents' bedroom. They would be like, "What the fuck? You kids keep tracking in mud in our bedroom just to look at us sleep." Like nobody ever thought this was weird. It's been happening for 300 years and nobody's like drawn a connection that maybe it's not the kids.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I agree, but I think that also kind of just comes down to lack of information. We don't know what the other people who lived in the house were doing when that would happen.
Well, we know that it's been in the family. Well, no, they did lose it. Okay, that's true. We don't know exactly when they acquired the manor.
Yeah.
So it could have been last year. It could have been the day that they
Yeah,
died.
people weren't living there for the whole 300 years.
And then so like when she's making her trail when she kills Peter, like she kills him, walks down the hall, and then she returns dragging his corpse. And like her whole thing is she's not like, as we said, she's not like a person anymore. She's just kind of going through the motions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that she's looking for a child, and I just wonder when she's walking back down that hallway, she's facing the kids, why she wouldn't see the children then and want to take them.
Because she looks for the kid in the bed.
Yeah, she looks for the kid in the bed. Basically, the whole idea is that she's in this loop, and she's not going to pay attention to anything until she gets to the bed, and anything that gets in her way, she's going to murder. Yeah. But, yeah. But gets to the bed. Well, because we have the one scene with the plague doctor, we have the scene where she sees the adult in the bed, and she kind of just stares at him. I don't think they So I guess we're to assume that she wouldn't have killed them because she wouldn't have killed the other people in the bed as well. But yeah, if it's a child in the bed, she takes it, and then murders everybody else on the way back to the lake. But if they get in her way, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I see any problems with that. I'd say that's pretty. I think that's pretty airtight.
No, that's fair. I'll concede to that. It's also a nice touch. Like, it's consistent. I'm gonna give it a merit here. That like, she doesn't kill that woman in the bed, like when she kills the plague doctor, and then so when Flora gets in the bed, you know, she doesn't kill her or whatever.
Yeah. Were they in the bedroom
And,
when
well,
you?
I guess that was also in answering like why she didn't kill the parents when they slept in that bed for
Yeah.
however long.
However long, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of a way to plug that hole, I guess.
Well, and because I would probably be of the assumption that she would even kill a child if it got in her way before she got to the bed. I would think that she would be that long gone.
Yep.
Like, she's not really a person at this point. She's a machine. Yeah. But I mean, like, based on the information I have. But
How about the contrast when the Lady of the Lake drags Peter versus when she drags Danny?
I was going to bring that up.
wow, yeah, that was definitely
She drags her for 5 minutes.
yeah, she drags her up the stairs, and it's like it's like, wow, you're just okay from that, huh?
Oh, that is
Yeah.
Chokes.
Yeah, Peter's dead in under 30 seconds. Yeah.
He like dies.
Yep.
He's on the brink of death.
He's on the brink of death. Danny is able to be drugged like halfway across the goddamn property.
Don't forget how
Yep. Up the stairs. Yeah.
Corner into the wing.
Yep.
And then stop at the bed, and Danny is still wriggling around.
Yep.
She lets go, and then Danny's unconscious.
Yep. She's fine. She's okay. My God, it has been a long time since I have seen plot armor that noticeable.
Dude, we watched Mandalorian last year.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even then.
But I was into it at first, because like leading up to that point, because it was so plot armorish, we saw how quickly she could kill.
Yeah.
Once she had that grip on Danny, I was like,
Because that was the big
God.
cliffhanger. Yeah, that was the big cliffhanger at the end of episode 8 and 9. But
Gonna stop her.
yeah,
Like, oh my God, she's fucking dead. I was like sweating.
yeah. But it's like, oh no, it doesn't matter. She's fine.
Still some life. Someone's gonna come in and save her, and then they go up the stairs. Okay. Still legs are wriggling around.
It's like,
Pass out now. It's gonna be prolonged. She's fighting.
she's got this.
They're in there. They're in the bedroom. There's the fucking bedroom. It is still making noises.
Yeah.
She lets go. Oh fuck.
She's still not dead, even though she's passed out.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was something.
Do you think you could try and bring it up Dan on Netflix? Like we can like compare the amount of seconds that go by.
Well, because I mean, keep in mind, Peter like went limp before she even went into the room, and that was down the hallway. Yeah.
It was like an MMA chokehold. He latched it on. He was done.
Yeah.
That's not the only contrivance either. What about when Jamie and the other guy,
Yeah.
Umar or whatever the fuck his name is, shows up?
We had a bad dream.
They had a bad dream. They had a bad dream. I need to go to the manor right now. I just had a nightmare.
Yep. Yeah, that was a big like, wow, what are you guys doing? Like,
Get them to the manor. Have them have a bad dream. Oh, God. Literally makes no sense. sense either. Like, how does that even play into all of that? Hang on a second. All right,
People
so you
are
wanted
people
me
are
to pull
saying
up
people are saying they can't
Bly
hear
Manor.
you. Hold on a second.
Can't hear who?
Oh, no.
You were Tom, so I'm bumping you up a little bit.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
fuck's sake! You need to
I
hear
hate
me.
it.
I know, right?
I'm the most important one here.
Yeah, I have important things to say. This is not a masterpiece.
I just bumped you. I bumped you guys up a little bit. Hopefully, it's not like too terrible for the last like hour that we've been streaming.
Dude,
But you know,
it needs to be
Hello.
on your OBS. It just needs to be in the yellow and below the red.
yep,
That's it.
that's where it's at right now.
Yes.
So you were a little bit below the yellow before, but yeah, you're good now.
I'll just start screaming. How about that?
Well, I mean, we have been kind of screaming a little
No,
bit
I'm
through this,
just
but
kidding. Okay. Dude, I hate. I just want to say I hate Netflix where I can't navigate with things like without things just auto playing because I'm just trying to find the series so I can pull up that clip that Tom wanted, and it just keeps playing shit in my fucking ears when you guys are talking, and it's super annoying.
oh yeah, Netflix sucks.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah, I just lost what we were talking about there. Oh, so Owen and Jamie had a nightmare, so they decided that the best way to handle this was to get in contact with one another and then both drive to Bly Manor. And we get no details even on what the dream was. It's just we had a dream, so we're here. Hi guys, we're here for the finale. And yeah, that was rough.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up here for the amount of seconds. Sorry about that.
Okay, yeah, take your time.
So Tom wanted to know, but yeah, carry on. Sorry, I don't even know why I said anything. I was just trying to let you know that I wasn't listening.
That's perfectly fine.
Sorry.
We forgot you were here.
That's fine.
What else we got? Going for the.
Really?
Oh, of course.
Oh, I'm sure there's more. I'm sure
Of
there's
course.
more.
Of course.
Let me just.
So like, after this is more character stuff. Now, the narrator is Dyke Lady, or Jamie, as I should call her now. And Jamie knows a lot of things that the character otherwise wouldn't know, especially when it comes to the ghost mechanics and how, like she narrates the entire history of Viola. And I was like, how do you know all this? How do you know that when she got tucked away, she had these dreams of this, and then when this happened, she popped out and killed this lady, and like so on and so forth. Oh, I forgot to time
For
this
the
too because I
major-
was talking.
Yeah. She
That's
wasn't
okay.
even there for like the greater majority of the finale, and so yeah, the only. I guess she could have heard it from everybody else what was going on, but yeah, there's no way because they even establish at the end of it that that the kids don't remember what happened and all that. So I don't see how she could have gotten the story essentially from their point of view to have known what was going on with them, because a lot of those scenes dealt with the kids and Peter and Rebecca by themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, there's probably 10 more examples, and I don't want to jump way off track, but like when what's her name? Danny leaves the note for her that she's left. Like she immediately flies from America back to London to the Bly Manor to find her corpse there. I don't know. It's just kind of like maybe it was in the letter that, hey, I'm gonna go kill myself in the fucking lake. But I don't know why she immediately flew back to the manor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she dropped her after dragging her at 6:41, and she started to drag her at 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
So 2 minutes of screen time,
2 minutes.
dragging her up the stairs. But those are fast cuts too, like where she's dragging her upstairs and through the hallway. It's not like we followed her the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's quite a bit of screen time.
Well, yeah, and like we said, Peter was dead in seconds.
Immediately went limp. Wah!
The plague doctor was
I don't know
dead
why,
in
Will, but now
seconds.
you're hard to hear on Discord. I don't know if that's something that you just adjusted.
Oh, all I did was adjust OBS. I don't know. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
You're experiencing technical difficulties.
Please stand by. For the next 30 seconds, we will emit a high-pitched frequency. Thank you, Tom. I was waiting for you.
Okay. I'm bumping
I just
my
rolled with it.
audio up in
Yeah,
Discord.
exactly.
Let me know if it like deafens you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
you sound the same.
I sound the same. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
I just maxed it out. What's it doing?
The same.
Oh, well.
I'll just turn you up on my end.
Yeah, I can still turn you up. It's fine.
Yep, I had you down to 80 because when we first started the call, yeah, you deafened me. So,
Okay, well.
what'd you say, Sonny?
Hey, what is that?
Who is it?
You're talking about ghosts.
Anyways, I was really annoyed by the and this is completely subjective now, but I was completely annoyed by the ending. I don't know, man. There was just like it went on forever.
What I can say,
And,
is I can't go after the romance in this show. Like, structurally speaking, it's pretty well done. I thought. I didn't care for it either.
The romance.
I thought that Jamie was kind of a bitch.
I thought there was no chemistry through them. Like I know they had set up all those scenes where, hey, look, she calms her down when she wants to kill Miles for cutting flowers or whatever, and you know, vice versa. Hey, she just saw a ghost, and now she's, I don't know, fingering her twat or whatever they were doing, and it's just like, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was genuine. I felt like most of the stuff was pretty forced, but that could be subjective, I guess.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the chemistry there.
I don't know how.
And
I don't know.
and
how
like-
I would.
And the full ending of it was nothing but that. And then they have that stupid line. It wasn't a ghost story. It was a love story.
Right.
And it's like, I like rolled my eyes and I fucking about knocked myself out when I did it. I rolled them so fucking hard, but like, I don't know. And then there was like a crying scene. I don't remember which one it is now, but I wrote like, what the fuck is this ending? Like there was some, wait, was it with the Flora girl? The girl that had the middle name that was Flora? Like her, I think that might have been it.
Yeah, because they were.
I don't remember exactly what I'm referencing here. I'd have to look.
Yeah. The bride said her middle name is Flora.
Yeah, that was basically all that was. Is
just baiting people, be like, oh my god, is it really Flora? Is that her? She just doesn't remember.
Well,
like,
and I think they.
Well, it's not
because,
Flora.
I wish they kind of
maybe
would have
because,
not had that in there because it would have been. I think it would have been better just to leave it like, oh, was it her? Like they.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of obvious in the beginning. I think it was kind of obvious, like, oh, this is probably one of the kids from the house. But then they actually say, oh, my middle name's Flora, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, and it's like,
I hate when shows hold your hand on shit.
I'm not even sure if anybody knew that lady at the bridal thing. Like, I don't know, but she creeped them all out so bad they all left the party. All right, we gotta
just
get
being a downer.
Jesus Christ, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is a 10-hour ghost story you just told there.
It's just strange because like they made the point of saying that the kids forgot everything other than it used to be like their summer home. I mean, I kind of figured that might be the girl after everybody left. It's just like, yeah, this is going to be her. It's going to be the reveal. And then they're like, my middle name's Flora. I'm like, Okay.
How exactly did Jamie know about the like flashback loop trips that Hannah was taking in episode 5?
Say that again.
So you remember the entirety of episode 5 was all about Hannah and how like she was like
Yeah.
dealing
Which
with
which at that point, like we were talking about the structure of thing, they kept doing that where then every episode was like a feature of each character. And this is why I said it's like the writers changed hands, because at first it started off as like this gritty horror, and then after episode 5 it's like they already had the character arcs written out and they just couldn't be bothered to like put them into the story, so they're like, yeah, just put the whole character arc per story and then we'll get to the fucking end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, carry on.
No, it's just basically just all that was going on in Hannah's head, and it wasn't even that because she's dead. So it's like this is all just, for lack of a better term, not actually happening. How did Jamie know about it to tell the story?
Yeah, exactly. She just knows all.
Because the other things I can maybe sweep away is like, oh, maybe she heard it from other people. Maybe she like pieced it all together or whatever. There's no way in hell she knew about this. Nope. No way in hell. Unless she went up to Hannah's ghost after all was said and done, even though she's not there anymore because the curse was broken, and she said, hey, tell me everything you went through up to this point.
Yeah, I think that's when it changed hands, or that's when I consider it when it changes, because like I was thoroughly enjoying it up until that part about episode 5, and which I like episode 5, but then they like did that structure going forward until basically the ending of 8, and like I thought it was okay, but 8 and 9 like really bothered me a lot.
What about 8 bothered you?
Mostly the explanation of Viola and all of those ghost roles and the 3 keys, and just how she knew all of these little details, because I don't know how she would know that there's 3 keys when the chest was never recovered. I really don't know how she knows any of Viola's backstory, honestly.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. I got you mixed up. I thought 8 was the. I didn't know we were talking about the flashback episode.
I think that's what it was, because it's basically the cliffhanger between 7 when Danny's grabbed to the beginning of 8 where she's dragged for 2 minutes of screen time and doesn't die. Which is weird, because like it's like the story had ended about 10 minutes into episode 9, and then they had 50 minutes of the wrap up, which is longer than the Lord of the Rings fucking wrap up. At the end of that, they had like 20 characters, and like it didn't conclude anything. It was just Danny and Jamie. It didn't tell us about the uncle. It didn't tell us about Miles and Flora until the very end. We're like, oh, they just forgot everything. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know on that. So one thing I do want to kind of, because I think this is an entire discussion all in of itself. So episode 8, with the whole flashback thing, it's interesting to me because when I saw it, because this is taken off right off of the big cliffhanger of Danny getting drug away, and then we cut to a flashback episode. To me, it felt like it was really out of place, because up to this point, we hadn't had anything else to go off of on who the Lady of the Lake was. I was watching it with a buddy of mine, and we were sitting there trying to figure out, it's like, who could this be? Like, they're trying to think of like anything that the show had dropped prior to this. It's like, oh well, maybe it's the mother, maybe it's the we don't know. Like, the show had given us nothing up to that point, and then they give us this basically like an entirely separate story, for the most part, detailing of the Viola and how Viola, right? That was her name.
Yes.
Yeah, the lady,
tuberculosis lady. and
Or Viola or whatever.
yeah, and her having
Viola.
tuberculosis, and how she said, "Nah, I'm not gonna die, cause nah," and exposes her entire family multiple times, and and
With
then
no consequence.
no consequences, no consequences, and then she's smothered to death because everybody in the show is terrible. um, and then yeah, all that nonsense. I thought that it was very strange, and it was very out of nowhere. I think that the story was well structured. I think that the story was very well written for the most part, other than what I just brought up. But the thing is like I feel like the show would have benefited from sprinkling a little bit of that in every episode. I feel like we should have had a little bit more.
It almost feels like that episode should have been maybe
The
the
first one?
episode, or like half of it should have been the first episode. Like it should have been, yeah, like you said, maybe broken up a little bit.
Well, and they couldn't
between
really they couldn't really have it be
episode.
yeah, they would have had to have if they would have made it the
Because
first
then
episode, because it's too
well, I was just gonna
spoilery.
say it would have given us time to maybe get a little bit invested into who she was, I guess, like, because like, oh, look at this person, oh, they're suffering, and like all of these things like throughout
Or
each
even
episode, and then like
yeah,
find out the big reveal of how she became the lady of the lake and all of that.
or even
And
just show her before she had tuberculosis. So very beginning of the series, show her
yeah,
with her husband happy and all that, and then it just cuts away, and then something like that. But the
But
thing
it's
is
kind
that
of
wouldn't-
why I have my tinfoil hat theory of this was like a half written script that got handed off to somebody, and they was like, oh yeah, I'll do it,
well,
and they
not,
wrote like the next like 4 episodes, and that's why it seems so disconnected at that point.
not only that though, but if they that kind of the way that they were doing the format of this show with Jamie telling the story to the married couple, it wouldn't
Mhm.
work really. It wouldn't really. I mean, I guess they could have made it work, but it would have been a little bit more difficult with how they were structuring the show. But I think that the episode was fine, but it just was very out of left field, and it was very jarring having it switch from one story to another, and this other story just kind of came out of nowhere. I know that it's
It was a good story too.
it was a
like,
good story.
I
Yeah.
like
Don't get me wrong.
but
Don't get me wrong.
yeah, it was like it came out of nowhere. Yeah, I would agree with that.
What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, yeah, I understand why people might think like, oh, it comes right the fuck out of nowhere, but you know, we've had, I mean, well, the setup to this was the fact that the Lady of the Lake exists, and we know she's going to be going through the house, and this was just to add, well, like
We didn't really
basic.
know
It's to
what
add,
it is.
about the
Mhm.
lake particularly. Like we knew elements of it about the footprints. We knew about the doll under the bed, and we saw her walk once behind Danny when the kids were like pretending to be scared when they should have actually been scared. If that makes sense. Like, oh, I just had a bad dream, and it's like fucking kid would be shitting their pants at 8 years old, and I saw a fucking ghost.
I guess they're used to her.
Yeah, it's like their
But yeah,
best friend.
but yeah, the flashback episode was just like, yeah, in a basic sense, just to add context to
Yes.
to her and who she was.
Yeah, and
It's just structured in a non-traditional way, I would say. I don't even know if it's poorly done.
I wouldn't say that it is,
It
honestly.
was
I
a
wouldn't
little
say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't say
yeah.
it's poorly done.
I wouldn't even say Hannah's is either, because like
No, that's one of the best episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like you couldn't just sprinkle that in, because that would, like, you would know the entire time that she was a ghost. So that part's good. But then once they start doing the other characters, I forget which ones they did specifically now. Because they did Peter and Rebecca simultaneously with Hannah's, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
one for Uncle Henry and the family.
Oh yeah, and it's like some of the stuff they could have kind of sprinkled out throughout, but
I think that my main issue is just that we didn't have anything about her up to that point. I think that the show would have benefited from giving us a little bit
would
more.
have been
Like,
cool, yeah, if they had it in the beginning, like at least, like you said, an introduction to the the character.
Well, because we didn't have anything about her up to that point, and like I said, it was a lot of the. I know this is very anecdotal, but a lot of the show was spent with my buddy and I trying to figure out like who is the Lady of the Lakes. Like surely they've dropped some kind of hint to kind of like key us in, which I mean technically they did because they dropped in the lullaby early in the first episode, but I mean that's nothing.
Yeah, I was kind of like you. I thought it would be their mother at first.
Yeah, that's what I was really thinking that was what they were gonna go with it, but
then I thought, well, the dad ghost isn't there at Bly.
Well, not only that, but the parents didn't die on Bly, so we
I thought that would have been like a good twist, like if the parents hadn't actually left, they actually died somewhere at Bly, like in the lake or something. But then I thought, well, the dad ghost isn't there, so the rules wouldn't be consistent, so it's probably not the mother.
Well, I mean, we didn't know about many of the ghosts that were there. That they could have just wrote him in. It would have been the same result, I think.
Yeah.
But my question is, when they were doing the lullaby thing with the music box in the area that nobody's supposed to go in, Flora's humming, and that's the Lady of the Lake behind her, right?
Wait, which part are you talking about now?
The ghost that's trying to hum the tune too.
What episode?
And Flora, I don't know. It's in the beginning. It's in the first 3.
In the first 3, I'm trying to.
Yeah, she's with the music box, Rebecca finds the music box, but Flora's in another room humming the same tune, and then the ghost is behind her. I believe it's the Lady of the Lake because it was a female. It had dark hair, and I think it had like a gaping mouth, but no face, and it's like raspily trying to hum too, like you know.
Yeah, that would be the Lady of the Lake then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what room was she in, and I guess why? Because as it's established that she's only like walks up the stairs, down the hall to that bedroom. And if she is looking for a child and they were in the bedroom, why wouldn't she take Flora then?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna pull that episode up because I just thought of that one because I just briefly remember like that was what the heck, because that was like one of the most creepy parts of the of the series because like I said, the horror elements were like really well done in this. But it's like they lost a writer somewhere along the way because the horror immediately stops after 5, which is when the writing starts getting very structurally different. So
that might even be the thing. It's not even that the story was that poorly written. It's just the fact that they switched gears very very abruptly. It seems like.
This is definitely not poorly written.
No, it's okay. It's better than most things, and it didn't like send me into a fit of rage, which is nice. Not until the very end, but that was mostly subjective stuff where I was just getting annoyed because I mean maybe I'm gonna sound like a cold-hearted prick here, but like I didn't invest myself into any of these characters. So then when they're trying to do all the end stuff with the love romance scene. Episode, I guess I would call it, like the conclusion. I just was getting more and more annoyed because it wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, well, see, because that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't I liked the series. I actually quite enjoyed Bly Manor. I enjoyed.
Yeah, same.
I enjoyed Hill House more, provided.
Yeah.
But from the recommendations that I had gotten, I was expecting so much more. Like I was expecting an absolute like masterpiece that I would be like.
Yeah, it was built up by many people, I guess, and I was like, yeah, I'll check it out, I guess, and it was okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect because like at the first set reviews I saw were the ones claiming it was a bore, it was super disappointing, and on the other side, obviously, you got like other people saying, oh my god, it's one of the best TV shows to come out, and I'm like, right then, okay, well I'll watch it, and Yeah, I'm just kind of in the middle between
Kind
those
of,
two. It's
kind
it's
of.
just it's good. It's good.
And Netflix is complete trash. I'm trying to pull up a different episode, and it keeps pulling episode 9, despite me clearly clicking episode 3 over and over again. It keeps pulling up the same episode.
Yeah.
Rip.
So
Just to
honestly,
reiterate to everyone, Netflix is trash.
it's trash, and they're gonna ruin Cobra Kai. I guarantee it.
Well, they haven't so far. They're 2 seasons in.
Yeah, but they didn't make it.
Oh no, yeah, true, yeah.
It was a
Season 2 was on YouTube, wasn't it?
Original, yeah. Which is
Yeah.
originally why I paid for the service. But now it's
Yeah,
gonna be
who would have fucking thought a YouTube original show would
Yeah, well,
actually be
maybe-
good and watchable?
maybe they have a bit more freedom. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, there was one person who had reviewed the series, and they said that the show wasn't scary because ghosts aren't real.
All right, I found it here.
Oh, you found it?
It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like the lady of the lake. It looks like her sister. I can give you a screenshot if you want.
I
If it looks,
mean,
Wait.
so
I
I
mean,
think she's
Jason
saying-
Voorhees isn't real, but that's pretty scary.
No, it's like it's crap like that. Where it's just like, wow, you guys are just like
Yeah,
poisoning the well almost. Where it's,
yeah.
it's like none of you
Like of
people
all the
are going-
critiques, of
yeah,
all the fucking critiques to say, it's like,
yeah. It's like
really?
there's no like there are actual genuine criticisms of this show that I feel get glossed over, and even people that are critical of the series I've watched, and like they don't bring up any of
There was-
this, and it's weird.
I've heard some really
Yeah.
strange criticisms too.
Ghosts
Wow.
aren't real, therefore not scary.
Yeah, there's some things that I wouldn't latch on to. I mainly just focus on the plot, the characters, the world building, and the continuity of those things. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
As far as the world building is concerned, I would say that it was pretty decently done. It's just the fact that they broke the rules a couple times.
There, I think that's her sister.
Yes, that is the sister.
Yeah, so she must be
Yes.
like in the attic, or I thought it was
Yes.
the cellar, but the attic actually makes more sense because that's where the trunk was, right?
Yeah, that's where she died.
Yes. So that yeah. That was, I wasn't sure what scene you were talking about, but yeah, that was I think that was actually one of the better part. That was actually the best part of the show, but it was
I wondered
That was like a
why-
really like funny but
Yeah.
creepy moment.
yeah.
funny, dude. It
Def-
scared the
definitely a
shit out of
tr-
me. I was like,
definitely a
Mia,
trailer
fucking
moment.
wake
Yeah.
up! I'm scared.
I was more scared with Flora, like what she did in response. Like she turns around, and just like shushes it, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh
like, I was-
jeez, that's
Yeah,
pretty
well,
scary.
These
I
kids
was
are not
scared-
scared of anything. I don't understand.
Well, was it Flora or was it Rebecca?
Yeah,
was
was it
Flora.
Becca? Yeah. But
Wait,
even if it wasn't Becca, like these kids are obviously like used to the ghosts. They know they're there.
But that's the other thing is like, you know, they see Danny freaking out, so they know it's real. Like they have confirmation from each other that these things are like occurring. So it's like, why don't they ever talk about it? Especially once, you know, they know that the adult can see it.
don't know.
Well, I don't know if Danny
And-
sees the sister.
No, not the sister, but she keeps seeing Peter's ghost.
Yeah, well, that's because he like allows that. Like, you know, the ones that are conscious that they're ghosts. You know.
Yeah. I'm saying, why don't they talk about it?
Well, Danny mentions that she's seen him around the grounds, but obviously they don't conclude that it's a ghost because they don't know that if Peter's
Well-
dead or not. They just know he
Well,
left.
the kids do, because Miles has been
Yeah.
letting him in his body for the entire time.
Yeah, but I assume
So I don't know.
because you know,
Very
well, I said,
strange.
well, Peter's like manipulating the kids, isn't he? To be like, don't tell anyone about me.
Probably.
Did he?
Yeah, you know, well,
I don't think they did. They show it? No, I don't think they ever show that. But I mean,
No, they
It
don't
would have been,
no.
it would have
So-
been a better scene to have, I think, and it would
would've
only
been-
take
would've
like
been
a
good scene
second.
to have, yeah.
a second of dialogue. One scene that really bothered me subjectively, I guess, was the monologue of plants good, people bad, where it was it was about 7.5 minutes of a monologue of her entire life history, but you just stare at her face the entire time rather than like showing. It's just kind of a case of show and don't tell.
I wonder
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like staring at her. I'm completely fucking bored because, again, I'm not invested in this character.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I already had kind of a sour opinion of her at this point anyway. But I wonder if there's a case to be had that Jamie just didn't receive enough character development, or not character development, but just we didn't get to know her character enough up to that point. Maybe I'd have to watch the series again to really be able to nail that down. But no, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, what I don't think it really matters whether you show it or tell it. I mean, when you're talking, when you're being down to earth and explaining your history to someone, it's
it's just more entertaining rather than seeing it. They're just staring into somebody's blank eyes. You can have like a scene that represents what she's telling, like she's been doing for the entire series, like because she is the narrator. She's telling the story anyways, and it's represented by scenes, so it's just kind of off-putting to me anyways. I think it's kind of like when they have heavy exposition of how things work when they could just show how those things work.
It's just more of a deeper personal conversation and connection, like we see Danny.
Well, that's the thing.
Like
it was
reacting and like her talking.
Danny says, "It's worth it," referring to the plants, which was the very first thing. Like when she explains, the moonflower is really rare and it's hard to grow, and she's like, "Oh, it's worth it," because it's so pretty, I guess. And then Jamie says something else about how something about people, right? And then Danny says, what do you mean? And then that's the last thing Danny says until she's done 7.5 minutes later. It's just like, it didn't even feel like a conversation. It was just monologue,
Mm-hmm. I mean, Hill House was kind of the same way. They did it's a similar kind of like people.
Yeah, but 7.5 minutes is a long time. That's 10% of the episode.
Yeah, but there are. To be fair, there aren't like a whole dozen bunch of characters to do development for. I mean, you could give. It's perfectly fine to give them this monologue, this lengthy monologue for developing one of their characters. It's not like they have to do this for like Hill House. I mean, they did it for Hill House, but it wasn't like like a.
No, I think you're misunderstanding. The history is fine. Everything that she said was fine. It was the execution of it that I didn't connect with me, I guess.
Okay. Did you think it was just kind of started? Well, not out of nowhere, but it was kind of like the lead into it wasn't really natural. You felt.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Like, it didn't feel realistic or a natural way to talk to somebody, just to like endlessly go on and on and on.
Probably would have been better for
7.5 minutes, but it would have been cool if like they would have just shown some of it rather than just have her tell us.
Like she had her own episode, maybe.
No, it's only 7.5 minutes, so they could have just had like it's just about her father going in the coal mine, her mother being a cheating whore, and her going into the what do you call it, the orphanage, right? And then she basically concludes that people are bad and plants are good. It's just a strange way to like draw that conclusion as well.
So would you have either been like indifferent to it, or would you have preferred, like, say, like Will said, a flashback episode dedicated to Jamie, like of her childhood?
just a scene, like just kind of a like for 7.5 minutes of dialogue, they probably could have had a 10-minute scene, wouldn't have increased the episode that much.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think either way it works.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is there anything else that we need to go over with it?
Looking through my notes.
I think that covers the main
I
things,
think-
really.
Yeah, like I said, I just had a couple things, and for the most part, it was enjoyable. But the things that snapped me out of it was some of the ghost roles and some of the characters, just not like acting out of they were acting out of character, or they just weren't asking questions or talking to each other.
Yeah, I think what it really came down to is that I was really expecting something amazing. Like I was expecting to be blown away with this, and I really wasn't. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's solid. I wasn't blown away, but it's
okay.
it's a solid show.
It is an okay show.
Just
I'm fine with that conclusion.
It has problems. It has some
Of course, everything does, but
this
and
does have some
don't preface this as a horror story because it's not. I mean, it charades itself as one for 4 or 5 episodes, but then they just completely 180 all of the horror stuff, and it's just a love drama at that point.
Kind of, yeah. Which it.
Well,
I can't go.
I mean, it's still a ghost story.
There's ghosts in it at that point, but they're not. Like,
they're not
no
spooky ghosts.
Horror.
There are no longer spooky, scary skeletons, Tom.
Yeah.
Mm. Do they don't shiver down your spine?
No, they do not.
That's for sure.
No.
They did it in the beginning. I was like,
yeah, they did.
Genuinely creeped out by it. I was like, ooh, this is creepy. I don't even think that I can watch this alone.
There were a couple that I was like,
man, this fucking show. I can't wait to fucking finish it because I just want to end it.
Well, at the very least, we can say very minimal jump scares, like one.
Yeah,
one or two.
That is a merit to recognize. Is there wasn't like jump scares as their horror tactic. It was legitimately just suspense. Which is the way that you should do horror, I think.
Did we ever find out why why Hannah was seeing the cracks in the walls?
Yeah,
that was in the well. That she saw the crack.
That's what I thought.
It was the same shape. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Plus, it's symbolic of a crack in our neck.
Yeah, indeed. Yes. Well done, Dan.
I will say that they did a fantastic job, like wrapping up some of the like little mysteries that they introduced like early on, the phone calls with nobody there and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They did a good job on that front, like putting together the actual wrapping everything together in a nice little bow, I suppose.
Yes, they didn't leave anything like open ended.
Well, they did with the uncle because the uncle just
I wouldn't go that
now.
far.
Yeah, the uncle is okay. He is just he's a-okay now.
He's completely over it because the Lady of the Lake is gone. I guess when she choked him out, she took all of his guilt away.
He was victorious in the end. He had an affair with his brother's wife, and then they both died, and he got their kids. So,
no. They died because they had to go on a honeymoon again to reignite their marriage, and they died doing that.
Because of him, yes.
Well, to be fair to the uncle, he didn't immediately like waltz into the house and be like, "I'm your new father now. This is my house."
Okay.
Yeah. This is a show about terrible people, and they're doing terrible things, and and they get away with it, just like real life. But
except for they weren't. Well, I guess you know what? Oh my God, the rich billionaire could do whatever the fuck he wants and get away with it.
Oh my God.
The moral of the story.
My God. Oh no.
Yeah. So.
if we're done with this, I have a movie that I would like to talk about briefly, just briefly.
Okay.
Before you do, I have timed the Lady the Lake choking moments.
Oh
Uh-huh.
no.
And are you ready?
Oh no.
This is fully in real time, like not like with like a bunch of cuts and edits, because this show actually has some really good like long take stuff.
Okay.
All right, so, yeah, so Peter took 23 seconds to pass out and die.
Okay.
Uncle Henry took 12 seconds.
Okay.
And
just
Danny,
Okay.
whilst still alive, bear in mind, and bear in mind the other two at a combined time of 40 seconds, they both died. Danny survived being choked for 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Well, you know what? She just said no to God and refused to die.
You see,
okay?
you see, Tom.
Hey, Tom, it
I
makes
don't,
sense.
well, I don't think she could speak. She was being fucking choked.
She said no to God and she refused death at the property line. Okay.
Are you saying, Tom? Are you saying that a woman couldn't survive 2 minutes?
Yes.
Oh
That's
wow.
sexist,
Oh wow.
man.
Wow.
It is,
Women-
yeah. Yeah.
Women can hold their breath far longer than men.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They have to well, yeah, they have to go down on men a lot, so they get a lot of practice.
Yeah, and you can find that on the Lost Fear Factor episode. Check that out.
So yeah,
Anyway,
so there we have
um,
that. Okay, so what?
So last night, Amelia, my beautiful girlfriend, she wanted to watch a movie. I let her pick because I always pick, and I just bitch like the entire time, right? And I'm like, well, if I'm gonna bitch, I'll let you pick. And she picked the movie Friend Request.
Oh my god.
And I watched
Oh.
about 95% of it because I kept dozing off. Movies held up. And then I watched Will's review on it
It's
on
so
my way
funny.
home.
It's such a funny movie. Goddamn.
And, and you did a really good job with it, but man, is
Oh, thank
that
you.
fucking movie
That
bad.
movie's something. That movie is something else. Unironically, I want a sequel.
There was a couple things that you missed though, like when her and Toby, which is like the creepy guy, right? That's like obsessed with her. They go down into this cellar room to find the laptop, I guess.
Right.
And when they and when they go down, it's completely like mid-afternoon, and then they're down there for like not even 2 minutes of screen time, and then they come back up. It's pitch black out. Pitch black outside.
That's how sunlight works.
Yeah. Don't you know?
But I guess because he stabbed her down in the cellar room, that immediately made the sun just drop like. And so then she gets into a taxi cab, ride, which I don't know how she called it a taxi cab because her phone didn't, like, there was supposed to be no cell phone service. So like a taxi comes and picks her up in the middle of nowhere. Like I don't even know how the taxi cab driver found her. And he's like, "Are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital?" She's like, she's fucking bleeding out all over his back seat. And she's like, no, just go. And he's like, "Okay, I'll take you to the abandoned warehouse then. That sounds like a great idea." Does this taxi cab driver like only care about his $9 fare or what?
So terrible. Love the point where she gets stabbed, right? So she gets stabbed by the guy, and then she runs out, and she proceeds to be able to outrun him. Runs
the
halfway.
worst thing to do.
Yeah. Worst thing to do when you get stabbed.
Out, don't pump your heart. You know what I mean? Like don't cause more stress on your heart to pump faster.
He loses the person that he stabs because he can't keep up with her.
and then like jealous boyfriend comes, like kicks the shit out of this guy, or not kicks the shit out of him, but he like roughs him up a little bit. He's like, "Where is she?" Like full Batman style, right? He's like slapping him in the face. And he's like, "All right, you're coming with me." Like, why are you taking this guy, this creepy guy, in your truck? You don't like him. You know he's up to no good with your girlfriend. Yet you're gonna put him in the car with you, drive him to wherever when creepy guy already has his own car
Yeah.
because he drove there. He doesn't need a ride, you stupid motherfucker, right? And so then they fucking go to the abandoned warehouse. Apparently, they just know, I guess. They're going to the abandoned warehouse. And jealous boyfriend says to creepy guy, "Stay in the car. Don't you go anywhere." It just leaves him there. And then which, what happens? He gets stabbed in the neck by creepy guy.
Yeah.
So bad.
It was a
And it's
movie
so
was a
bad
trip.
that my girlfriend, she usually doesn't pick up on things like that. She was the one that noticed the day and night thing. I'm like, oh
I'm
my
surprised I
God.
missed that actually. Like that's a big one.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Of,
Yeah, but-
of all the things to recommend watching,
But I think you entirely missed the point. Will is it was all about the theme. Internet addiction is bad. Okay, don't you get it?
Right.
oh yeah,
Yes,
mobile phones are the devil.
I love the one scene like earlier on in the movie where she's getting the Facebook messages from all of her friends. It's just a happy little ding, 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 and then what's her name? Like the evil lady starts messaging her, and the Facebook notifications start going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Oh no, not the evil notification sound.
Yes.
I hate when I get those on Facebook.
Stupid.
Ding ding.
I don't know. It's my ghost friend, and yeah, like the stuff that you brought up because in the movie, Tom, basically the ghost will record you killing yourself, and then like it'll record your friends killing themselves, and then it'll post it on your timeline, so it looks like you're posting it, and you can't remove it no matter what you do. Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
And so
Facebook
like-
doesn't care about that. Then.
And so all of these
Yeah,
people
no,
are
it's
just like,
They'll leave it out.
So like the police are questioning her about all this, and they're like, well, we have, the first girl that died was the one that was like possessed or whatever. She like lit herself on fire in front of a black mirror and hung herself. It was really
Okay.
dark.
Wait,
Yeah. And posted it on Facebook.
Wait. She set herself alight and hung herself.
yes.
Yeah, well, she hung herself, and then she had a lighter, and she dropped it, and it caught her dress on
Okay,
fire.
no,
Could she
but
just
this
not
isn't-
fucking?
No,
Could she
no,
not
no.
decide?
Tom, this is
Could she not
important.
decide what method of suicide to use?
So-
Like,
Well,
fuck
no,
it.
you don't understand, Tom, because witches back in the day, they would use this technique as a ritual to escape witch hunters that would hang and burn them.
What? So they would hang and burn themselves
So here's the thing, though, Tom.
Yeah,
So-
obviously.
to escape being hanged and burned.
But this is important, Tom. So the reason she killed herself, right? So, she's she's lonely goth girl, right? And she latches on to Perky, just going to be a psychologist person, and Perky going to be a psychologist person realizes this, and instead of actually using her like what she's studying for of being a psychologist, of being like, oh, let me see if I can like help this person. No, her initial response is to just completely like ostracize her, essentially.
Oh, nice.
Basically the whole thing is that like she has her birthday party coming up, and creepy goth girl is like, oh, I can't wait to come, and and perky psychologist lady is like, well, it's just gonna be me and my boyfriend, we're just gonna go out to dinner or something, and creepy goth girl's like, oh, okay, and then psychologist girl proceeds to upload a whole bunch of pictures of her from her birthday party to Facebook
With like 40 people there.
Oh no!
And it could have been avoided by two ways, right? Well,
Is this psychiatrist the main character?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, what a fucking cunt!
And so, like,
Why?
and
Because she's a goth. Oh, so weird.
Well, because
so
she's
fucking
because of-
weird and
well,
different.
it's so
Just
weird
goth.
because, like,
She's an emo. Fucking no.
kind
She
of.
can't be friends with us.
Kind of. The boyfriend
Listen.
basically says, yeah, she's weird, and then that's the explanation we get, and then she's like, oh my god, and
Oh,
yeah.
Typical
Well,
high
like-
school or whenever this
yeah,
is.
it's so weird because she's studying to be a psychologist, right? So she should understand, like, this person, maybe something wrong with her by the way that she is behaving, right? And so when she asks her if she can come to the birthday party, instead of just being like, yeah, come on by, or like, hey, it's just gonna be only for like really close friends and family, she just lies to her instead, because that's what a psychiatrist would do.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
but
I mean, I don't know. This movie sounds really good.
Oh man, it's amazing. I would recommend.
It
is
probably
a
gonna
trip.
do a watch party on it one day.
I will be down to join you for that, because I love that movie so much.
Movie. I'm probably gonna have to wait a year, to kind of scrub it from my mind. But
yeah,
right.
I think back on our Truth or Dare watch together.
Yes,
Like,
that was a movie.
Back on it with great glee.
Yes,
I do.
I'm still working on it.
I've never laughed so quickly during a film than that. It was the
so
opening
terrible.
scene. That girl was in the gas station. It was the opening scene, and she was obviously told the dare was to set that old lady on fire. It's funny, the dialogue. She gets, I don't know, I can't remember. She pours gasoline on her. She gets matches,
takes,
but before she does it, she says, "I'm sorry, I have to do this."
Yeah. She just takes the
lighter
lighter fluid off of the shelf and just sprays the old lady down with it, and everybody's just kind of watching.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's great.
And she's just like, "I'm sorry."
Terrible.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who hasn't lit an old lady on fire? Be honest.
That's just
we all went to college once. Jeez.
We're all human.
I'm telling you, man, those really crappy teen horror films, they're the best. They're amazing.
They won't die. They'll never die out.
I hope
for better or worse, they won't die.
I hope.
I kind of remember my point now about the hanging and stuff. Is the police start asking that girl, the psychiatrist lady, really dumb questions.
Oh my god!
They're like, hey, we have reports that you were harassing this girl, when previously the girl was the goth girl was bombing her inbox with tons of messages, and it's she didn't just show them. She's like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's not kind of person I am.
Why would you show the evidence that exonerates you? Why would you do that? The
and
police
then,
are
and then
so
she's
incompetent.
gonna get kicked out of school because she posted, this video, which she cannot delete, and she cannot delete her account because the ghost has hacked it now, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, she doesn't just show them the laptop. Look, it literally won't delete. There's nothing that I can do.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, when you accept 12 people in your Facebook inbox as friend requests, don't go immediately hang out with the goth girl.
Right, that's right, because the whole reason
yeah,
that
she accepted the friend request and then started hanging out with this person she never met before, immediately, same day. She's like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll go hang out with this person.
Yep.
Yeah. Life lesson, guys. Don't hang out with goths, okay? They're weird.
Well, I mean, realistically, the life lesson is don't accept random Facebook friend requests you get from people you don't know. But, I mean...
Internet addiction is bad. Don't stare at your Black Mirror computer screen.
They were
technology
so
no good.
Stupid, because they made it out that goth girl's laptop was her Black Mirror. It's just her laptop screen was the Black Mirror that she used. It was wow, really?
God.
So
yeah.
So
and
okay,
then,
so
and then
literally
and
anything could be a Black Mirror. Okay.
Yeah, because the ritual was she had to light herself on fire in front of a Black Mirror. And in the Black Mirror was the webcam, I guess, on her laptop.
Was
or
it the
laptop
webcam, or was it
or something? I don't
either
how is it a mirror?
If it was her webcam, that makes even less sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, because then you could flip your phone around and just use your
your phone screen is even then it's just your phone screen could be a black. Everything's a Black Mirror. What are you talking about? It was.
Don't you understand the subtle themes?
I guess not, man.
Technology bad, okay? God.
Hey, when was that movie made? I couldn't figure it out because it seems like a 90s movie.
I think it
like,
was.
when
It's
like,
probably
the internet
fairly
just blew
recent.
up.
Hold
They're like,
on.
hey, careful on the
Whoa.
internet, kids.
Careful, this is fucking dangerous. You could kill
Hold on, let me
people
look
and
it
kill
up.
yourself.
And then at the very end, Tom, spoiler alert.
Oh no.
Like
2016.
yours, anyone that's
Oh yeah, we wouldn't want to spoil the story of
Wouldn't
friend
wanna-
request.
Wanna
Yeah.
spoil this?
Yeah, I may not want to actually, but there's a contrast between Goth Girl and psychiatrist lady at the end where they're supposed to be more alike, but they're not.
Oh.
Well, I
Right.
mean, really, the ending is that she possesses her. I guess like that's.
Oh,
the...
you spoiled it.
Oh,
Wait,
oh, sorry, spoilers.
the
Okay.
the goth
After-
girl possesses the
once you're-
psychiatrist lady.
Yeah,
Yes.
once your friend
Was
list
she with a
hits
ghost?
0. No. Once your friend list hits 0, she can then possess you, and
So is
then
that
you
how it
turn
works?
into a goth girl.
Well,
okay?
no. Let me
how it
explain.
works.
Let me explain her motivations here for you, Tom. So basically, she's sad, so she doesn't have any friends. So
Oh yeah,
she's
weird. She's an
yeah.
emo.
So she goes to the popular person, slowly drains her friend requests, slowly drains her friends list by making her post suicides on her Facebook or whatever, until she hits 0 friends, right?
Okay.
So then she possesses her, and now she still doesn't have any friends, and she's made 0 headway, and now she's just dead.
Okay.
So, in the end, nothing was accomplished. So,
Except for
Okay. What a
Except
terrifying, disturbing story.
except
pretty
for in the
funny.
beginning, Goth Girl didn't wear any makeup. She was very plain. And then when psychiatrist lady turns into the Goth Girl, she wears all this goth makeup.
yep. And then at one point, this other character throws themselves off of a
know what?
balcony, like a 2-story balcony. Hits.
Oh, yeah.
They
Fat girl.
slam face first into a car, and they survive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they survived long enough to run around a hospital and then slit their own throat.
Yeah.
Because they
What?
Yeah,
This movie is
stupid.
amazing, Tom. You need to see
It's
this
amazing.
movie.
Another thing that they never explained is like at some point before the goth lady goes crazy, somehow her hood accidentally gets pulled down and the back of her head's like completely charred off, like where she got like scalped almost, but
Well,
by like flames.
I think what it was is that she picks at her hair. I think that's what the implication.
Oh
there was.
yeah, they did mention that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, they
pulls
never
her out.
explained it. But yeah, that does make sense because she was pulling out an eyelash in the opening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's amazing,
Right.
Tom. Like you don't know what you're missing.
Amazing.
Like
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to watching it. You just spoiled it. Go.
I know, right? Well, no, don't
Yeah,
worry.
well,
with this
we will
knowledge, you'll
watch it
enjoy
in
it
like
more.
a year, and by then, most of this conversation will have left.
I mean,
your
will
mind.
we even remember it by then?
It'll be full of Mandalorian rage and the boys.
Yeah, Mandalorian season 3 will be out by then, Dan. Come
Yeah,
on.
Exactly. I don't even want to watch it now. You guys keep spoiling it. Like I don't even care now.
Well, I watch it so you don't have to.
Thank you. I
See it
appreciate
like that. See it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
so
know
that's,
what we're gonna do next. Like tomorrow, we're gonna have the gaming party, so don't forget about that.
Can't wait.
We're gonna do Star Wars Battlefront 2. Play that online together. And then we're gonna do some more Phasmophobia, which is always
Hell
a good
yeah.
time. I can't wait to scream. I set up my Twitch where if people buy like the minimum amount of bits, like all kinds of creepy shit will go into my headphones, specifically like people screaming really fucking loud in my ears. I can't wait. Among some other things too. And then yeah, probably cap it off with some Jackbox games if anybody's still hanging out. I know some people can't come till late anyway, so
But yeah, and
Sure.
I have
That'd be fun.
both of your channels in the description, and yeah.
Thanks. I just rebranded ours to be GNT, where it's more. It'll be more talk show stuff, mostly Tom and I and some guests. So check us out. We've been doing stuff on the boys. We have a response coming out for Robot Head, where Robot Head is missing the point of the boys.
Yeah.
No,
Or-
we
well-
missed the point, Dan.
actually, he's missing the point of the criticisms.
Yeah. And by that, he's not acknowledging them.
Yeah, he's just downright ignoring them.
Making ones up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we have that then. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye bye.
Farewell.
Bye.